want to talk to you about your cake success path, more particularly where you are in your baking business journey. The reason why want to talk to you about this topic that I really find is something that every home baker needs to understand is the very fact that everyone has a journey. Whatever we do in life, we all go through a journey. We all are on a process of improving ourselves, growing, making mistakes, getting over stuff. So it's really important to know this one thing that all like life, just like business, just like anything, you as a cake decorator, as a home baker, as an entrepreneur, have a unique success path, right? And just because you're not seeing certain things in your cake business, just because you're not hitting those sales goals, or you are not having a certain amount of bookings per month, per week, or you are not decorating in a special type of way, does not mean that you are not on a path of success, that you are not on a path of growing and improving yourselves. Okay, so that is what I want to talk to us about today. Like, listen, this all said with all my love, I don't want you to be going out there on Instagram, checking other cake decorators accounts, comparing yourself with them, feeling so down, that you are not anything like them, or that you are anything less than the next cake decorator. I truly believe, and I know that to be true, that everyone is on a unique journey. So I'm going to be talking to you about the 5 unique success paths, or the 5 unique stages that you can be as a home baker. And the first one is a total newbie. Now, whether you are, just starting out or just looking for ideas, you would be on this specific stage if you are actually just literally having this business idea. You just started, you are a total newbie. Now, I'm excluding the people that are passion bakers, because I'm talking about those people that are actually wanting to move across that barrier of being a passion baker. And I'm saying it's a barrier because, I mean, you cannot be a passion baker want to make profit at the end of the day, right? So if you're a passion baker and you want to start charging, then you actually become a business baker. So there's no way that you can just be a passion baker and still want to make a profit. So I'm basically excluding the passion bakers. Passion bakers are those people that are baking for fun, they're baking for their family, and then they don't really have a desire to open a business or to start a business. So a total newbie, or someone at the total newbie stage, is someone that is really wanting to start off a cake business. Okay, so you've really made up your mind. You want to start this cake business. You want to go forward. You actually want to buy the equipment, the supplies, and you are basically on that research and exploration zone, right? So that would be a total newbie. You are considering this, like you've not even made up your mind if this is something that you want to do, but you are considering it, you are researching, you are trying to find out, is this right for me, is this the type of business that I would want to do? So then you would be classified as a total newbie. Then there's a starter. A starter is someone that has already made up their mind. They know they want to do a baking business. They know that this is what they want for profit. Like they want this for profit. They are in this the long haul. They are committed to getting the training, or getting to basically teach themselves, whether it's watching a bunch of YouTube videos, or whether it's just investing in training, whatsoever it might be, that will actually take them from point A to point B, but they've committed. So they are a starter. And usually at this stage, you have a lot of questions. You are like, what type of supply should I buy? Where should I go? What type of training should I consider first? And if you're at this starter stage, I would really recommend you to start with experimenting. Try out some recipes. Look at what type of recipes you want to do. Do you want to focus on cookies and small bakes, or do you want to go all into the novelty cake stuff? But then focus before you even go into trying to be the most, skilled, talented baker that you could possibly be. Try to focus on the baking, because I know that we want to make those over the top, elaborate cakes. But at the end of the day, if that cake is not delicious, it's not it's not, if it's not delicious, if it's not something that your clients will like, then there's really no point in decorating that cake. So you want to really, at this starter stage, which is at the second stage, I really encourage you to just try out multiple recipes, focus on your zone of genius. I mean, at this point you might not really be in a place where you are saying, I want to focus on macarons, or I want to focus on sugar cookies, or I want to focus on baking cakes. But then at least just try to experiment and try to find out what you would want to do, because it's not just about your skills. Right, at this stage, it's not just about your skills, but it's also about market validation. It's about what type of baked goods do your clients want? What type of baked goods do people in your area, those that you're reaching out to, what type of baked goods do they enjoy? And what type of niche would you want to enter into as a home baker? I have what I call um, the startup resource guide. I have a startup resource guide for total newbies and starters. So if you're just starting out and you don't know what type of supplies you can buy, what type of supplies to invest in, then just comment with the word resource guide and I'll link you up with that. Also, if you're watching this on YouTube, please do like my video. Also do make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because we are growing our community, and I would love that. If you're watching this inside our Facebook group, then please comment with hashtag replay. If you're on the replay, if you're watching me live, please do say hi. I really, really love just getting to know people. I That's, for me, that's the way that I get to know you. Okay, the next stage that I want to share with you guys is the intermediate baker stage. I call that the intermediate baker. So if I can just recap, we have the total newbie, we have the starter, we have the intermediate baker, we have the advanced baker, and the pro baker. Okay, so we're at the middle stage right now, which is the intermediate baker. The intermediate baker is someone that I like to classify as someone that's been in the baking industry for about 2 to 3 years. And as an intermediate baker, you have put in the hours in baking, you've put in the hours in your baking and your decoration. And of course, at this stage, you've already decided if you are going to invest in a certain type of training or not. And as an intermediate baker, you might have already invested in one or two trainings, or even in multiple trainings. But then, many home bakers are self taught. So I know that we also have a lot of intermediate bakers that are actually quite talented, quite skilled, and they are self taught, right? So you might be an intermediate baker. And at this stage, the biggest concern for an intermediate baker is, how do I get more clients? How do I make more sales? How do I grow my business? So those are the main concerns of an intermediate baker. So let me know. So far, are you a total newbie? Are you a starter? Or are you a intermediate baker? And I'm not pinning this down to the number of years, but then I'm pinning this down to the experience, the type of questions you might have on the stage, the type of concerns that you may have. The fourth stage is the advanced baker. The advanced baker really does not have any issues decorating or baking. They know, like, even if they get a cake, a cake order that requires a skill set that requires a technique that they've not used before. Advanced bakers are so advanced that they know that they are capable enough to say, okay, I think this type of a technique might work. Even though they've not done that technique before, they're so experienced that they can say, I'm going to tweak it this way to get that effect, or I'm going to use this tool and that tool to get that effect. Okay, so if you are an intermediate baker, then, I mean, if you are an advanced baker, the fourth stage, advanced baker, if you're an advanced baker, then you are really skilled enough to know what type of tool to use, what type of technique to use to get certain effects or design effects on your cakes, right? And you are not really this person that has so many questions about, what do I use, how do I use this, because you are really, you've put in your hours as well. You have done this baking business for quite a long time, and I know that most intermediate bakers are usually at the 7 year mark in their baking businesses. They're at the 7 year mark. And the biggest concern for intermediate bakers really is, do I take this to the next level? for most of them. Do I take this to the next level? And I know that many intermediate bakers that are still home bakers, they don't have a storefront, are usually working a full-time job, right? Most intermediate bakers that are largely around the 5 to 7 year mark are having a full-time job. And baking is basically a pastime. Not a pastime, it is a business, definitely, but baking for them is a largely something that they do part-time. But they would love to retire to their business, or they would love to not retire, but they would love to, go in their business full time. They would love to do this the long haul, and their struggle is on how do I make this sustainable? How do I make this as my primary source of income even when I leave my full-time gig? So that is it. The fifth stage is the advanced baker. Now, the advanced baker is one baker that is really the expert. They are probably not in there the longest, but then they are this baker that is they've studied what they are doing, and they are the pastry chefs. They're the ones that went to cooking school or to pastry school, and they really have these really, they have the baking skills. Their baking skills are on point, even though they might not have the hi Yako, morning. How are you doing? Okay, so even though advanced bakers may not have the best decorating skills, and I'm having a fly over my head right now. Okay, so even though advanced bakers may not have the most elaborate decorating skills, they do have the baking skills, okay, because they went to pastry school. They have the baking experience, and they can really bring out those delicious desserts and baked goods. So that is what I wanted to talk to you about today. I want you to know, if you know where you want to go in life, then you should know where you are coming from. Are you a total newbie? Are you a starter? Are you a intermediate baker? Are you an advanced baker? Or are you a... Oh, Stella, so it's you. All right. Okay, so you have a different name on Facebook. Okay. I'm gonna give you a call, Stella. All right. So what's happening is that you need to know where you are in these 5 stages in your baking business, because if you don't know where you are in these five categories, then you won't know where you are going, right? So it's very important to know which type of a baker you are, and then if you know where you are, then I want you to watch some of the videos that will be coming up, where I will be talking about, how to grow your cake business. I want you to particularly look out for the video on strategy. I have a video on strategy, and I want you to look at that video. Thank you, Stella. And I want you to watch that video, because strategy is very important. It will really guide you as to that growth mark where you want to get to. So if you have any growth goals, if you have any goals to grow your cake business, whether it's your profit, whether it's your sales, whether it's to get something or to get paid, right, you will need some strategy. So that is what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Have yourself a lovely rest of your day and a lovely rest of your week, and I'll see you. Bye for now.